God morgon Södertälje. Thanks for inviting me. It's a great honor and great joy and a great privilege to be here to share some of our experiences and insights regarding Agile, Lean and Flow, because we have learned so much from you guys in Scania. We have this bilateral cooperation with you for many, many years. So it's great to be here to share some of our stuff. So I'm going to talk about a couple of mental leaps. Methods and tools to principles and mindsets, resource efficiency to flow efficiency, scattered experiences to continuous innovation. My name is Erik. I'm a proud member of something called the FLOWFANS. So we're fans of our teams, we're fans of flow, and we want to act as these big flow fans to improve the flow of our teams. And I'm serving some 400 people doing software development for our 2G and 3G radio base stations. And if you haven't noticed already, I'm somewhat of a Lego nerd, as you can see. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by Lego. So just to give you the context, this is our operations, the 2G, 3G development. So we're 1,800 people, 100 teams, around 10 sites in Sweden, China, and Poland. Just to give you some facts and figures. Why change? That's the first and most fundamental question. Or rather, even better, how come you want to improve? I think you have that in your DNA in Scania since many, many years, but it's always good to go back to that fundamental question. So let's take a look at our need for change. What is this? Anyone knows?
Election of the Pope.
Correct, it's the election of the Pope. The election of the Pope, 2005, Rome, a lot of people, and some even have some phones. Fast forward, 2013, next vote. Yeah, you spot the difference. So imagine what this did to all the mobile networks of the world, including Ericsson. So the data traffic is growing by leaps and bounds. It's thanks to the iPhone 2007, 10-year anniversary this year. We're happy. We need to fix this. And it's, 12 to 18 months, it's grow our software, we need to do our algorithms, and that was our reason to change. Because the amount of money that we got was not exponentially increasing. It was rather flat or even decreasing. So we need to do something. So let's take a look at the first mental leap then, from methods and tools to principles and mindsets. So initially, on the left-hand side here, we started with the basics, Scrum, Kanban, continuous integration, and continuous integration. So by the book, with help from internal and external coaches, I'm happy to see one of my teachers being here in the audience this day. So this was our starting point. Then thanks to focus on needs and direction, where we wanted to go, and inspiration from external thought leaders like Mary Poppendick and Don Reinertsen, and the company culture in Ericsson, where we never do copy and paste. We always want to internalize and think for ourselves. We managed to go to the right-hand side, where we see the principles of flow, we want to visualize to get the transparency, and we want to have this mindset of continuous learning and experimentation that we didn't really have to start with. So one of the principles that was very important for us was to point to the destination, or giving a direction and why, based on our needs. So here you see our long-term key performance indicators from 2010. This is what we set up. 4 times more value, 2 times faster lead time. We talked a lot about the lead time or cycle time, very, very important. 10 times better quality, and more than 75% of our people really engaged and motivated. That was our long-term KPIs for 2015. And the key point here is that they are long-term. They're 5 years. They're not 1 quarter. They're not 1 year. And they're balanced. We have the engagement of our people. We have the quality from a customer perspective. We have the cycle time or lead time. And we have the value. So these were really, really important for us when we started out our journey. Another important principle is the large batches. And big companies, we think big is beautiful, and the economies of scale will give you a cost advantage, but that's not the full story, because small batches can actually be extremely beneficial So that was one of our key insights. By having small batches, you get better quality, shorter lead times, because you have faster feedback loops, faster learning, and quicker adjustments as you go. Really, really important, really fundamental. So what we saw here was that we could use this to sort of make our change journey fly. So we would recommend to try improvements as small experiments. You know, try your improvements as a small experiment. Avoid, you know, big batch, large scale, big bang initiatives from the top. And overcome sort of resistance to change and resistance to improvements by making small changes that can be easily rolled back if they don't give the expected improvement. Go for safe and try. I know we're in Södertälje. It's ice hockey season. Sweden won the World Championships. But the same principles apply. You know, Södertälje football förening would never play like this, I think. This is actually how some Swedes play football during Midsummer's Eve. And some of them even add vodka to make it even more fun. Yeah, you're laughing, but this is actually how many companies operate today. Scania doesn't, of course. Never do that. So this is a better way. The global awareness. Everyone sees the same field at the same time, and you work together as a team. You win as a team, you lose as a team, you draw as a team. So that's another very, very important principle. So what we did, partly inspired by Scania, we had our end-to-end visualization room. You know, we have a board, we see all our 100 features in flight from, you know, idea or need, customer need, all the way to done, delivered and dusted, happy customer. So we have all our stakeholders meeting at least once a week, looking at the blockers, looking at the impediments, working together to resolve those and improve the flow, visualizing, managing, removing cues in our process. And this should be no news to you in Scania. I mean, you basically invented this stuff, learning from Toyota. But it works also in an IT environment or in complex product development as software for a radio base station. Yeah, I talked about that already, so you see 100 features with lines. This is really important. Final lesson for this mental leap. You know, Agile or Lean is a mindset. Agile in this case, described by 4 values, 12 principles. But then here, you have an unlimited number of practices. You can call it Scrum, you can call it XP, you can call it Kanban, you can call it whatever. But this is important. As they say in the US, you learn the game, you play the game, and then you redefine the game. So, after learning to play the game, you can redefine your game based on your own needs and come up with your own custom-made practices that suit your business and your customers and your environment. And this is extremely important in a world where the rate of change will never be slower than today. You need to change and adjust and learn. Okay, this is probably the next leap. Yes, resource efficiency, flow efficiency. I think you know this pretty well. I know Niklas Modig has been in Södertälje very many times, so I will do this quite quickly. So what is efficiency? Well, resource efficiency and flow efficiency, obviously. And we have these silos here, you know, the guy here in silo 4 is busy, and the girl in silo 2 wonders what to start next. So if you don't see what's going on, everyone is totally occupied, but they're sub-optimizing for the overall business. We get delays, we get quality issues, all the ways that you all know about. So busyness is seldom good business. Do this very quickly. You have resource efficiency on one axis, flow efficiency on the other. You have the steel mill, high resource efficiency, high resource utilization. You want to keep your equipment, your very expensive equipment, very busy. You have the ambulance service on the other end with the high flow efficiency, because then lead time or response time is a matter of life and death. Anyone from IT in the room? What's the maximum utilization you would keep your servers at? How many percent?
80.
80, that's high. Daring. Why not higher? stop.
Well, there will always be the unplanned situations.
You would get crashes, you would start to get delays, right? If you load it to 80–90%, your response times will start to go haywire. You have this exponential kind of thing. And delays are not good, and not in the servers and not in our development processes as well. So it's the same thing in our products or the server business as in our processes. So that's an important insight that we can learn from our own products and our own daily life on the importance of flow efficiency. So, just a quick summary. It's not about either resource efficiency or flow efficiency. It's not binary. We need both, and we need to start with flow efficiency and prioritize the continuous learning. Otherwise, we get into the resource utilization trap, and we don't want to be there. So, how did we explain this to our engineers in our development? So they could start making better decisions and take the right actions. Well, we talked a lot about queues in traffic. We talked about the Toyota production system, the Scania production system, the Swedish healthcare system. And our engineers, they understood this, but they always answered, well, our context is so special. This is knowledge work. We do software. It's very, very different from manufacturing, healthcare, or the highway. And then myself and a colleague, we took the class by the master himself who wrote the book, The Principles of Product Development for All. And he started by asking us, what are you doing here, Eriksson? You don't need to take my class. You already know this stuff. You use it in your products every single day. His point being that, our algorithms, we want to keep the delays short for the packets going through our products. So why not just transform that experience, that insight, into our processes and ways of working? So we started to do storytelling. We talked about, this is our product. We have our mission control, congestion control, arrival and departure. And hey, use our algorithms and apply it to our processes, to our ways of working. That was a game changer for us. Then, finally, we talked a lot about, the paradigms, the mindset, and the principles. That gives very high leverage, going from resource efficiency to flow efficiency. Of course, we had our KPIs, long-term KPIs, measurements, key performance indicators. So it's once again not either or just pick one. You need to work with all your leverage points in order to improve your system, your development system. So, time for the final leap. Scattered experiences, continuous innovation. What is innovation? I have the answer. I'll keep you in suspense. So, innovation is value from ideas. You need to have ideas, obviously. Then you need to prove that those ideas have value, in the sense that you do a prototype, you do a demo, you do an experiment, you do a trial to see how it's valuable. And this could be value in learning as well. So this is what we did. We planned for innovation. We said, let's set aside 30% to grow our capability. We have time for innovation. So you have an idea, and you sort of try it out when there's a bit less work. And we even had special learning days and set aside time for all our teams and all our engineers. Of course, it wasn't 30%, but if we would have said 10% or 5%, it would have been 0%. So we said 30, and it turned out to be 5 or 10.
Did you make a difference between improvement and innovation? Because I feel it's very easy to work with improvement instead of innovation.
Very good question. So the difference between improvement and innovation, in this definition, value from ideas, an improvement is an innovation. So it can be large or small, it can be patent, but as long as you can sort of show that it has value, then it is an innovation. Okay, so planning with less than full utilization creates an environment for innovation. We used our this continuous innovation. We wanted to get some direction. So we had those 10 times the quality, 4 times the value throughput, half the lead time, everyone engaged, or 75% or more engaged fully. So we wanted to direct all the experimentation efforts in that direction. We even had something called a challenge, where we set up a quarterly or 1, 2, or 3 quarters to make it even more concrete based on our current needs and our current situation where we were. So small experiments towards the next challenge, taking us to our long-term key performance indicators that was more sort of on a 5-year scale. Okay, I'm running out of time, I'm seeing. So I don't have time to go into this in detail, even though this is the most important. Maybe we take that in the open space. This is our innovation operating system. So we try to look at some patterns that we saw when we did really innovative things in our products. And looking at behaviors, capabilities, structures, and processes to get this value from ideas. And I don't have time to go through it, but we can talk more in the open space. You have some, the patterns that we saw and that we want to sort of build upon to have this innovation operating system for our products and our ways of working. So these were the mental leaps. And my final question to you is, what's your next mental leap, Ravi? Thank you.